everyone, this is Karen.
Hello everybody, I am Shane.
Today we're looking at part 1 of Sleeping Made Easy.
The history of pillows.
And the vocabulary words are slight.
Slight.
The weather report said there is a slight chance that it will rain today.
Curve.
Curve.
This fence is not straight. It has a curve in it.
Luxury.
Luxury.
A new computer is a luxury that I don't have the money for.
Oh, that's so sad.
I know.
Possess.
Possess.
The museum possesses a large number of 18th century paintings in its collection.
Admire.
Admire.
We all admire Amelia for her wisdom. Okay, so we're talking about pillows.
Do you really care about pillows? Do you have like a very special pillow? And if you go to a hotel, it's not the right pillow, you will feel, ugh.
I do care about pillows, but if I go to a hotel, I can still sleep, but at home, there's one particular pillow that I use, and I'm not used to other pillows.
Right. And the main focus is comfort, right?
You're right. I have to feel comfortable when I sleep.
So, but the originally, like in the 7000 BC in Mesopotamia, there were pillows, but in fact, these pillows were not used for comfort. They had a more practical purpose.
Which was to
keep like insects out of their ears and their mouth and nose, right?
So that was made of stones, right?
Of stone, right?
So it's actually very hard. It wasn't comfortable at all, but they just wanted to lift up their heads so no insects and bugs will go inside.
Yeah. And in ancient Egypt, they also used pillows, but they were made out of wood.
Okay.
And you really more saw them for mummies.
Okay.
I don't think it was people were really using them in their homes for sleeping. It was more to just let the head rest comfortably for the mummy when it was in its tomb.
Because they believed that, they will be sleeping for a long time.
Exactly.
And they want to make sure that they can sleep comfortably.
Interesting. Hard pillows.
I know. I can never. I can never sleep on hard pillows.
I need a memory foam pillow.
Oh, really? Okay, you need a special one too.
That's right.
All right, let's learn more about pillows.
Okay, I'll use you as a pillow.
Enjoy.
Sleeping Made Easy. The history of pillows. It's easy to take many of life's small pleasures for granted. Every night we climb into our beds and rest our heads on our favorite pillow. This wasn't always the case, however. Throughout history, the pillow has changed a lot, and its story is both long and colorful. Where did the pillow come from, and when was it invented?
Sleeping Made Easy. The history of pillows. Part 1. Hello, everyone. My name is Jeff.
And my name is Mike. And
sleeping without pillows?
Yeah.
Kind of the worst.
That is kind of the worst. And of course, pillows are one of those things like, beds and shoes that we kind of take for granted. They're around us all the time. We have a few at home on our bed. We don't really think about them. But think about not sleeping with a pillow. That's kind of an interesting one. And also, think about who was the first person to go, I'd like to have something soft under my head when I sleep. That would be a lot more comfortable. And as we read the article for today and tomorrow, you'll learn that smart person was actually not that long ago. And before that, people had a lot of really bad ideas for pillows.
Like logs?
Logs, nothing, a block.
A cinder block.
Yeah.
Anyways,
it's not even like a dead dog or something. Well, I know, but I mean,
okay, you're getting dark there, Mike.
It's better than a block.
Gosh, it's easy to take many of life's small pleasures for granted. Every night, we climb into our beds and rest our heads on our favorite pillow. I do it every night.
Yeah.
I love my pillow. In fact, I've got 2 pillows.
Wow, you were fancy.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. He's got 2 pillows. I have 1, but not long ago, no one had anything, not even a dead dog. This wasn't always the case, however. Throughout history, so this wasn't always the case, however, pillows haven't always been around. Throughout history, the pillow has changed a lot, and its story is both long and colorful.
And does not involve dead dogs.
No, it does not involve dead dogs, but I would also add long, colorful, and painful, because most of the pillows from the past were not good. We're going to find out. Let's go to the break.
Here's the question.
Yeah.
Where did the pillow come from and when was it invented?
Hello， 大家好，我是 Hanny。我们一辈子有1/3的时间在睡觉，那要睡得好，当然一定要有舒适的枕头咯。不过从古至今，枕头可是经过了很大的改变，人们并不是从古代就有舒适的枕头可以睡。那我们这2天的课文呢，就是来了解说枕头的由来。好，课文第一句就有写到，生活中有许多小确幸，很容易被视为理所当然。那么枕头就是其中一个会被视为理所当然的物品了。我们先来看2个重点。第一个，句型 it is 形容词加上不定词，这个句型当中的 it 是虚主词，用来代指后面那个不定词 to be。那呢，它是用来表达做某事是怎么样怎么样的。例如 It's impossible to please everyone， 要讨好每个人是不可能的。第2个重点 take somebody or something for granted 是用来表达将某人或某事物视为理所当然，而不去珍惜或感恩。例如 Don't take freedom for granted， 别把自由视为理所当然，我们要珍惜我们所拥有的自由。好，接回到课文中。
Sleeping Made Easy, the history of pillows. Though the exact origin of the pillow is unknown, people are said to have first used them in Mesopotamia around 7000 BC. They were made of stone and had a slight curve to support a person's neck. These pillows were not made for comfort, but for more practical purposes. The Mesopotamians wanted to keep insects out of their mouths, ears, and noses. But if you were poor, you were out of luck, because pillows were a luxury used only by the rich. In fact, the more pillows you possessed, the more people admired you.
Okay, so, though the exact origin of the pillow is unknown, we don't know exactly where it came from, people are said to have first used them in Mesopotamia around 7,000 BC, or about 9,000 years ago.
Wow, so that's one of the first civilizations a really long time ago, like around the time they invented writing and things like that, which kind of makes sense because we've been sleeping all that time. And you know, you got to think about what to do with your head and your neck. Yeah. But the pillow back then, not exactly comfortable. It says these early pillows, they were made of stone and had a slight curve to support a person's neck.
A stone.
So imagine a nice, comfortable pillow, but made of stone.
It's a rock.
Yeah, it's a rock, basically. You're sleeping on a rock, but hey, there's a slight curve to support your neck. So, you know, it's not a pointed rock where you're sleeping with like, you know, a sharp point in your head.
Way to find a silver lining there, Mike.
There you go.
It's a slight curve in a rock.
A slight curve. Not a big curve, a slight curve. Slight means small, all right? Not too much. A very low level of something. There's a slight noise coming from the kitchen. It's not a loud crash. It's like a tap, tap, tap sort of noise, all right? So if there's something slight, it means small or minor or not very big or anything like that. So if we're talking about this curve, it will be, you know, kind of like that. Not like that.
It's a slight curve, a little curve.
So, sorry, the weather report said there is a slight chance that it will rain tomorrow. Maybe a 10 to 20% chance of rain.
That it'll rain today.
Oh, today, sorry, that it will rain today.
Yeah. Okay, next up we have the noun curve to talk about. If something is curved, and there we're using that word as an adjective, okay? If something is curved, it's not straight, okay? Usually, though, when we talk about something that is curvy or curved, it's bent, and it's not straight, but it's bent or not straight in a slightly smooth way. By the way, anything that is curved, you can call that thing a curve. That would be the word being used as a noun. For example, this fence is not straight. It has a curve in it. Ah, a nice smooth stone with a slight curve. How inviting. It makes me want to fall asleep right here and now.
Well, absolutely. It doesn't sound very comfortable, does it?
I was being sarcastic.
Laying your head down on a stone. But, in fact, as we read on, we find out that comfort wasn't the main goal. It says these pillows were not made for comfort, but for more practical purposes, a more useful reason. Comfort's great, but that wasn't the main problem they had. That wasn't the main reason they were using pillows. It says the Mesopotamians wanted to keep insects out of their mouths, ears, and noses. So it was to keep the head off the ground, because otherwise a scorpion would crawl up your nose when you're sleeping something.
That wouldn't be good.
Okay, I can see why comfort's not so important when you're trying to keep bugs out of your face.
But get this, not everybody had these slightly curved stones.
Oh.
If you were poor, you were out of luck. It says, but if you were poor, you were out of luck, because pillows were a luxury used only by the rich. So if you're rich, you don't have that scorpion climbing into your nose. If you're poor, bring on the scorpion.
So those slightly curved pillow stones were really, really expensive, and only rich people could afford these curved pillow stones. They were a luxury. What is a luxury? This is noun. It talks about something that is really nice. It's really special. It's probably really expensive, but it's kind of unnecessary for your real life. Okay? If you can afford it, if you can spend the money on it, great, good for you, but it's not really necessary. Getting a nice cheap watch down at the night market that tells the time is fine, but if you want to spend the money, you can get one of those fancy Swiss watches that costs hundreds of thousands of dollars, but that type of watch is a luxury. It's something you get only because you can, not because you really need it. For example, a new computer is a luxury that I don't have the money for. It would be great if I've won the lottery or something, I might buy it, but my old one's fine. It works. A new one, that's a luxury.
There you go. Now, in fact, the more pillows you possessed, the more people admired you.
Wow.
So not only were pillows luxuries, okay, but they were also status symbols, okay? The more pillows you had, the more people liked and admired you. By the way, if you possess something, you have that thing, as in you have that thing and you own that thing. It's your property. For example, the museum possesses a large number of 18th century paintings in its collection. If you want to see these paintings, go to this museum. That's where they're located.
All right, and we also had that word admire. This verb basically means to look up to someone, to respect that person, to think they're good or special or wonderful in some kind of way. All right, so if you had 10 Swiss watches, I might admire you, but back in the Mesopotamian days, if you had 18 stone pillows, people would really admire you.
Wow.
They think you were super special.
Anyways, we all admire Amelia for her wisdom.
Thank you, yes.
That's something to admire someone for.
We look up to her, we respect her, she's very wise, and we think this is a good thing.
And she doesn't need Swiss watches or curved stones.
No, she only has one stone pillow. We admire her for that.
Okay, all right. Everyone, let's go ahead and take a break. When we come back, we'll learn some more about pillows.
枕头确切的起源不得而知，不过据说人们最早使用枕头是在西元前7000年左右的这个美索不达米亚地区，哇，差不多是9000年前诶。那么当时的枕头是石头制成的，而且稍微有一点弧度来支撑人的脖子。那这边有两个单字 ，slight 是指微小的或是轻微的，那么 curve curve 是当名词来表达曲线、弧线或是转弯。这样老师刚刚用到 curvy 这个字 ，curvy，curvy 也可以用来形容是弯弯曲曲的意思。Mike 老师刚刚说，石头枕听起来虽然不舒服，但至少它不是尖的，还会刺你的脖子或头。这样老师则是故意用讽刺的语气说，石头做的枕头让人好想睡在上面啊！我们来补充一下，刚刚老师没用到 pointed， 就是 point 后面加 ed，pointed 可以用来形容是尖的。那么还有用到 sarcastic， 可以用来形容是冷嘲热讽的、挖苦的。这个字是拼作 sarcastic，sarcastic。好，话说回来，其实那些石头枕呢，它并不是为了舒适，而是为了更实用的目的而制造的。美索不达米亚人呢，是想要让昆虫远离他们的这个口耳鼻子。只是枕头是有钱人才能用的奢侈品，你拥有的枕头越多，人们就越羡慕你。好，先来看3个单字 ，luxury。Luxury 它表示奢侈品，那当这意思来解释时是可数名词，我们也可以把它当不可数名词来表达奢华奢侈。好，那么奢侈品是生活非必要的东西，我们可以用 unnecessary 来形容是不需要的、不必要的，也就是在 necessary 前面加上否定字首 un。好，下一个单字 possess 它是当动词来表达拥有或是具备。那么 admire 是动词，它有羡慕、欣赏或是钦佩的意思。这边还有一个重点是双重比较级的句型。双重比较级呢，是用来呈现两者之间的消长关系，用来表达越怎么样就越怎么样。那它的句型是 the 比较级主词加动词，逗号 the 比较级主词加动词，或者是 the 比较级逗号 the 比较级。好，那么其中这个比较级呢，可以是形容词比较级或是副词比较级。我们来造个例句。The harder you work, the more quickly you'll get promoted. 你工作越努力，就会越快得到升迁。另外，句中这个比较级的部分，你也可以用 more 去修饰可数或不可数名词。它的句型是 the more 名词加上主词加动词，逗号 the more 名词加上主词加动词。有时候你可能也会看到 the more 名词，逗号 the more 名词的这样的句型。好，那这就可以用来表达说什么什么越多，什么什么就越多。好，例如 the more books you read, the more knowledge you gain. 你书读得越多，获得的知识也就越多。好，继续回到课文中。
Sleeping made easy.The history of pillows. The ancient Egyptians also used hard pillows. These pillows were often made of wood and served as headrests for mummies. Egyptians viewed death as an everlasting sleep, so pillows were used to ensure the dead slept comfortably.
Okay, let's move out of ancient Mesopotamia and move into ancient Egypt.The ancient Egyptians also used hard pillows, but they weren't slightly curved stones. These pillows were often made of wood and served as headrests for mummies.
Okay, I'm not really sure that wood is better than stone, but maybe it's a tiny bit softer.But it's still very hard. So they were
a little bit of progress.
It's a little bit of progress. So they were making pillows out of wood. And yes, we can see them still being used in the famous, coffins, the sarcophagi that the mummies were buried in ancient Egypt. They're kind of like an eye shape. They had a flat area with a little base and then a bottom part. So there you go. It wasn't much of an improvement on a stone, but it looked nicer. It was, prettier. But anyways, Egyptians viewed death as an everlasting sleep. So pillows were used to ensure the dead slept comfortably. For the Egyptians, when you die, it's like you go to sleep forever. So because when you sleep, you'd like a pillow. When people die, they give them a pillow forever. It's your forever pillow.
And you can rest forever
there you go.
In comfort.
There you go, yeah.
On a piece of wood.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
It's carved and painted.
All right, folks, with that, today's lesson has now come to an end. But next time, we'll learn about the modern pillow. a pillow that you would actually want to use. We'll see you then.
课文接着写到，古埃及人也使用硬枕头。那这些枕头通常是木质的，用来当做木乃伊的头枕。因为埃及人把死亡看作是长眠，所以就这个枕头呢，是用来确保说死者他能够睡得舒服。要睡这么久，当然要睡舒服一点。好，文中的 mummy 就是指木乃伊。Mike 老师刚刚有提到 coffin C-O-F-F-I-N 这个字，它表示棺材灵柩。老师还用到 sarcophagus S-A-R-C-O-P-H-A-G-U-S sarcophagus 表示石棺，那它的复数形就是把字尾 us 改成 I 念作 sarcophagi。好，这边还有一个重点是表达认为看作的用法，我们可以用动词 view see 或是 regard 或是动词片语 think of 后面加上人或事物，然后加上 as 再加名词或形容词，去表达说把某人或某事物看作是怎么样怎么样的。我们来造两个例句。She sees Greg as a good friend. 她把 Greg 视为好朋友。They regard him as trustworthy. 他们认为他是值得信赖的。好，那么以上是这些讲解，同学别走开，马上回来哦。
It is super cold in Sapporo in winter. The temperature almost never goes above freezing. It's perfect for making ice and snow sculptures. That's why we have this wonderful snow festival. This festival started in 1950. 6 local high school students built 6 snow sculptures in Aldority Park. A few years later, another group of people joined and built huge snow sculptures. Every year, the sculptures get bigger and bigger. Sometimes people make life-size sculptures of famous landmarks, like the Taj Mahal. Ooh, there are around 400 sculptures in the city every year. Ice and snow carving is very difficult. One slip up and you destroy days of work. It is really terrible. Around 2 million people visit the festival every year. This makes it one of the most popular attractions in Hokkaido. Along with the sculptures, there are mazes, slides, and lots of delicious food. Please come and visit!
See you next time!